All right. Hey, you guys, it's Clint from gardenfrugal.com. It's 2014. This is the first video I've made this year. I'm really excited to be back. I'm happy you guys are back. And hopefully you guys have some amazing things growing on this year. I know I do. And I got something really exciting for today's episode. So let me ask you a question. Have any of you, well, I know a lot of you do, grow in containers. It's really popular these days. But I bet a lot of you have had problems growing in containers. Especially if it's not a self-watering container. So I get a lot of feedback from you guys, and I hear a lot of things of blossom end rot problems in tomatoes. All right, it's very common, especially in tomatoes grown in containers. And I have the solution for you today. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple, it's cheap. I should say frugal. And I'm going to share with you how to do it in this ancient episode of Garden Frugal TV. All right, so this ancient technique of using this, well, they didn't use this. They used clay pots that are more kind of balloon ball shaped with a long skinny neck and kind of flared at the top. And what they would do is they just make it out of a porous clay. They do a low temperature fire on it, and that way it's very porous. And they would plant them in the ground, fill them with water, and it would water the soil, and it makes it really easy. They're not having to truck water in every single day. They can water for quite a period of time, and there's lots of perks to using these. All right, so this is called an olla, O-L-L-A. Like I said, it's an ancient technique. Doing some research, I found online that they say that no one really invented this technique. It was going on in different forms, but basically at the same time, anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 years ago in Africa or China, in both places. And then they've also used this, 100 years ago in, the southwest states and stuff here. So it's an ancient technique. It's a system called ollas, and it's comprised of clay pots. Now, using this technique, you're going to get a lot of benefits, you guys. The benefits is you're going to be able to use 70% less water and get the same yield. 70%. Now that's frugal. Now you're saving some water, and you're also saving probably a lot of time, and depending on what your current watering system is, of having to truck around and water your entire garden. So 70% less water, same amount of yield is what people have found using these ollas. So the reason for that is you fill this up with water, and the pot will actually start weeping. So what it's going to do is, if it's more moist inside the pot and it's drier outside, that water is going to want to come out, and it's going to start pulling out. And what I'm going to do is, after this video, I'll fill this thing up, and I'm going to try to do a time-lapse video and show you over time what this thing starts to look like. But I've already filled this one up and just set it on the counter. And it didn't take very long, and it started weeping water out through the pot and making a puddle. So you bury it down into the ground, leaving the last little top out. And what ends up happening is as the soil gets drier, it's going to start pulling the moisture out. Okay? But the plus is the plants are also going to seek out this moisture. So their roots, once they find this moisture, their roots are actually going to grow. And they're just going to embed this pot with their roots. They can tap right into it, and they're going to use it like an IV. So as they need it, they're going to be using it. They're going to be pulling moisture out, supplying themselves, and helping things along. So, like I said, blossom end rot, I'm sure you've done a lot of research, and you're probably going to say to me, blossom end rot doesn't have anything to do with watering. It has to do with a calcium deficiency. Well, that's true. You're going to find that online, that the blossom end rot is a calcium deficiency. But the problem is the calcium deficiency isn't coming from not having calcium in your soil. It's coming from a lack of water or frequent watering, and the plant being able to use that uptake of water and moisture to take the calcium in and to deliver it to the plants and the fruit. So it's, like I said, it's not a calcium deficiency usually in the soil. It's due to a lack of consistent watering for the plant to be able to get that calcium from the soil up to where it needs it. And an Olla is going to prevent that, all right? Just like my self-watering containers, you know, that's one of my most popular videos out there. And this is another way to turn any container into a self-watering container, all right? All right, so some of the perks that you're going to get using this system, like I said, you're going to be able to use 70% less water. And the reason for that is this is going to be buried down in the ground, and the water is going to be going out kind of down at the root structure, and you're not going to be watering up high where it can evaporate off. It's all going to be kind of down underground. You're going to get a lot less evaporation, and like I said, the plants are going to grow their roots to it and use it as they need it. So it's going to go right to the plant. Another perk is because you're not watering from above your garden bed or your containers. Over time, watering from above, what that does is it actually starts to compact your soil. So, you know, being able to water this way is going to help keep your soil light and fluffy, do a good job. But I think the best perk is since you're not watering from above, you're not going to get any weeds, you guys, all right? That's where all your weed seeds are, right? They get blown around. They're right on the surface of the dirt. Use water from above, and those things start germinating and taking effect. Well, watering with an Olla, the water is going to be going underground, and actually that top layer of soil is going to be kind of dry, and you're not going to get those weed seeds germinating, all right? So that's a huge plus. But the downside to that is Ollas, you shouldn't be using them to germinate your garden seeds, all right? So for that same reason why the weed seeds don't germinate. If you spread seeds in your garden and you only use these to water, the plants that you're going to grow and your seeds aren't going to germinate as well. So if you're starting seeds, use a different technique of watering initially, just until they kind of get going, or just start them in other containers so they get big enough and then transplant them into your garden, okay? All right, some other things to consider when using these Ollas is you can fertilize using them. You can put liquid fertilizer in these pots and use them. The nice thing is if you do that, you only need about 25% of the fertilizer that you would normally use, or the concentrate, to fertilize your plants. I personally don't like doing it that way. I'm going to continue to do my fertilization, you know, my compost tea, you know, my kelp, my liquid seaweed, you know, fish emulsion, all those types of things. I'm actually going to do those kind of from above, and a foliar spray and stuff like that. I just don't want to be putting too much fertilizer and stuff in the pot to where it kind of starts building a layer up on the inside and making the water transition, you know, slow down or basically clog these things up. So you don't want to do that. Along the lines of clogging it up as well, you don't want to let these things dry out. So you can let the water get down, but then, you know, get them filled right back up. Because if you keep letting them get all the way drained and emptied and dried out, you'll get a calcium buildup on the inside from the water. You know, a lot of you have seen that in the showers and stuff like that. It's, you know, if your shower was completely submerged in water, it's not going to build up calcium. But it's, as you get the water on it, it dries. You know, it starts sticking and staying, and repeated times of doing that, it'll start to build up. So you want to kind of keep them full. Don't let them dry out too often, and these things will work good for you for a long time to come. And the last thing I would mention about these, depending on where you live, if you live somewhere where it's cold, you do get a lot of freezes, you're going to want to remove these from the ground in the winter. You don't want a bunch of water in here. If it freezes, it's going to expand. It's going to start breaking your pots. So depending on where you live, you may need to dig these up in the winter and just kind of stack them in your garage or somewhere else, get them drained. But if you live somewhere where it's warmer, you don't get a whole lot of freezes, you can leave them in the ground year-round, all right? All right, so let's jump right into the construction and building one of these. It's really simple, you guys. You can do it just for a couple of dollars. All you need is a couple of terra-cotta pots. You guys know you can find these in any store. Dollar store sells these things. You know, any home improvement store, your independent garden centers. I mean, anywhere you want to go, anywhere you want to support and buy some terra-cotta pots, this is going to work for you. You can get them in any different sizes. You know, like I said, they range probably starting at about $1 a piece, going on up to how big you want. And you can go as big as you want. You're going to need some silicone. So I just look for anything that's 100% silicone. I actually have a silicone gun with a bigger tube in it, but I also had some of this left over. It's just easier kind of for doing this demonstration for you guys. But if you use 100% silicone, all right, that's usually food grade. That's what they're going to be using in restaurants and kitchens and bathrooms and stuff like that, all right? You're not going to have to worry about it leaching anything into your water. You know, if you read the back, there is some safety concerns about it, but it's before it cures. So when it's wet, yeah, it can be kind of have some bad stuff in it. But as soon as it cures, it dries, you're not going to, like I say, you're not going to have to worry about it leaching anything into your thing. So 100% silicone, any color, whatever you want, whatever you can find is the cheapest is all you're going to need. A pencil, if you want, you don't have to. Something that is very cheap and frugal, a rock. And then I just used a plastic bag, all right? So when you go to your store and you're looking for these pots, grab a couple of them, put them together on their edge like this, and just look. You know, some of them are kind of misshaped and not all two go together. So kind of find them, test them out before you buy them, see if you can find ones that match up really good. It's not a huge deal because the silicone is going to fill it in, but you do find some that are completely way out of whack. So if you can, avoid those, or at least just find two that go together. And then once you get home, you know, just kind of put them together, look around. Sometimes you kind of have to turn them or move them around to get them to a point to where it really kind of lines up and makes a good looking seal. So if you do have one that's really out of whack like that, you do find the perfect spot, just grab your pencil and just throw a line on either side of the pot. And then that way, as soon as you get ready to silicone it, you can line those lines right back up and you know you're going to be good to go. All right? So we'll start with one pot here. And what I like to do is I'll just put it down here in this plastic bag. And that's just so I don't get anything, you know, getting all over my table. And the hole in the bottom here, I'm just going to fill it up with some silicone. Put a good little gob of it in there. It's just going to go down to the plastic. It's going to make a nice little kind of seal in this bottom hole. And, you know, once it cures, you can just pull the plastic right off and it makes just a nice, perfect, flat seal. You know, it starts to come out past the hole and just make it watertight. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is just basically fill up the hole, and then I'm going to put a raised layer of silicone kind of up above the hole. And then I'm just going to use this flat rock I found from the yard. You know, it's fun. I got the kids out there digging around looking for flat rocks. But it's just, you know, an added little thing to help keep the water in the pot. And I'm just going to push it down right into that silicone. And that'll cure up. And it'll make a nice watertight seal. All right. Now the next step is going to be just putting a bead along the top of this. So you want a pretty decent size bead, and what I mean by that is just squeeze it out, and basically the thickness of the hole that you have cut, just let it stand on the edge of the pot, just like that. You don't need a ton, because when you do put that other pot in, it's going to be squishing a lot of this silicone out, so you don't really need to waste a lot of it. But you do want it to have a good seal, something to hold on to prevent the pot from kind of coming apart and breaking apart and stuff on you. So doing some research, some people have used Gorilla Glue. They have found that it kind of holds up a little bit better in harsh conditions, or if it, you know, they're getting kind of beat around or anything like that. I just kind of prefer not to use the Gorilla Glue. This silicone seems to work for me. And if it does happen to come apart, well, I can just silicone it up again down the road. So I got my bead all the way around, and now I'm just looking for my pencil mark, my other pencil mark, and I can just set this down right on top. So I'm just kind of looking around, making sure I got it basically where I want. And, you know, if you don't like touching the silicone, you could use some gloves or whatever. I'm not afraid of touching it. You know, as soon as I'm done just kind of swiping it, I'll just get a moist paper towel and wipe my finger off. So I'm just going to basically be going around the edge here, smoothing out this excess, and it just kind of seals the outside as well. All right, so it's just making sure that we got 100% coverage over this entire thing, making sure we don't have anything that's going to leak or spill, or you know what, I'm going to add just a little bit more here on the outside just to make sure I got a really good seal here. I think I moved it around and got some of it off. All right, so let me just go wash my finger off really quick, and I'll be right back. All right, you guys. Well, I went to go wash my hand off and woke someone up who's ready for some lunch, but I thought I'd take this time to introduce you guys to my new gardening buddy. For those of you that follow the Facebook page, you know that Mr. Chocolate Lab here, Milo, is going to be part of the Garden Frugal family. So he's here to say hi, and hopefully we can move this. Can you say hi? Huh? Can you say hi? Oh, yeah. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. So Milo, Chocolate Lab, my new gardening buddy, and, you know, he's a good dog. So that's really easy, simple to do, you guys. You can see you can make them pretty quick. You can do a bunch of them. What you want to do, though, is I would say I'd let that thing sit for 2-3 hours before you kind of move it or do anything, and then I would let it cure for, I would let it cure for about 24 hours before you fill it up with water and use it. But that's it, and let me go give him some lunch. I'll put him down, and then we'll get on to how I'm going to give seeds away to you guys and let you know how you guys can get some seeds from me, all right? All right. Hey, you guys. Well, I wanted to bring you out here in the garden to show you how I plant and use one of these Ollas. So this is one that has been cured, you know, over 24 hours. I've got it already filled up with water. It's just starting to weep a little, and it's just really quick, easy, and simple, you guys. I'm just going to dig down here. All right. Let's try and do this so hopefully you guys can see. And then I'm just going to put it in the corner here. That way I can kind of put my plant in the center. And I'm just going to end up packing the dirt kind of around this guy. And then I'm going to plant this. And this is going to be coming up. I'm going to do another episode on this. This is a raspberry bush, you guys. This thing is awesome. I'm really excited about it. It's basically designed to grow in containers, which is a huge plus. You don't have to really trellis it or train it. You know, you don't have to put up fences and posts and tie off the canes and everything else. You just let it go. It's a bushing type raspberry. Gets, I think, like 2 to 3 feet tall. It'll put out a ton of canes, a ton of raspberries. You know, it does good in full sun. Like I said, it's good for containers. But the other perk is it's also thornless, you guys. So it's thornless, so it's going to be great for the kids. I can have it right out on a container right getting full sun on the patio, right outside the door, so at any time we can just walk out, pick some fresh raspberries, and we're good to go. The reason why I wanted to use these Ollas is this is a kind of expensive plant, and by kind of, I mean $30 a plant. I think that's kind of expensive, but sometimes you have to spend a little bit of money to get the right tool for the job. So this is going to really allow me to grow some raspberries. I ended up getting 2 of them, and I'm going to be really excited, and I'll keep you posted on the production and everything else, but you know, I don't want these things in the container to dry out, and that's why I'm using this Olla, because I don't want to lose this guy. You know what? I'm going to need to take some of this dirt out of here. Let me go grab a bucket really quick. I'll be right back. All right, there you have it, you guys. Here's my container with my raspberries. More on this plant to come. My Olla's in the corner here, just sticking up. Oh, I'd say the last inch or so sticking up out of the dirt. That way I can easily find it, fill it with water, and that should help keep my container nice and moist, keep the plant growing, and hopefully I don't lose this beautiful, amazing raspberry bush. So let's head back inside, and I'm going to tell you guys how to get some seeds. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Silly puppy. All right, you guys, that's it. It's quick, simple, easy to do. You know, and I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. Some of the things you can do to make this even better, you know, I'm just trying to keep it simple, stupid, especially for me. But like I say, if you want to make it easier on you, you could get a like a mason drill bit or a drill bit that can you know, drill out this terracotta pot, make the hole in the top a little bit larger, makes it easier to water. These smaller ones are kind of hard to do. These other ones are a lot bigger. It makes it easier to fill with water. That would be one modification you could do. You don't have to. And then another thing you can do too is plumb these things up. I've seen people get just a 1/4 inch irrigation tubing and basically put them down into the top, silicone the top, and you can string them all together and run it into basically a water reservoir, gravity fed, and you know, as the water goes down, it'll put new water in, and then you don't have to be going around filling them up as well. So I'm not going to do that, but I have seen people do that in their actual garden beds. I'm just going to be putting these in pots, and you know, these are going to hold enough water for me to you know, get a couple days without having to go out there or whatever. But you know, my thoughts is not to make it completely self-sustaining with the tubing and the gravity fed and stuff, because you know what, if I keep making everything to where I don't have to do anything, I'm never going to be in the garden. And you know, the best part of having a garden is spending the time out in the garden. And you know, the best pesticide and everything else is your shadow out there, meaning you're out there, you're looking at your garden, attending to it. You can see what's going on, seeing if you're having problems, and address them quickly. So this will just kind of make sure I get out there and attend to those plants. So now we're on to probably the part you guys have been waiting for, is I'm going to give you guys some seeds. So I appreciate all you guys coming. I hope you guys enjoy Garden Frugal as much as I enjoy making it for you and sharing it with you. You know, you guys interact a lot on the Facebook page. I love it. Hopefully you're subscribers to the YouTube channel, so it's just youtube.com/gardenfrugal. Make sure you're a subscriber. When I have new videos like this come out, you'll be notified. Make sure you like the Facebook page, facebook.com/gardenfrugal. Post questions on there, pictures, interact with other people. It's just a great place to kind of hang out and you know, show off your garden. I'd be happy to see it, and I'd love to see if you guys do try these or modify them or come up with something on your own. I would love to see that too. So let me tell you how you guys can get some seeds, all right? So let me just get my laptop here. We'll just come over. I'm just going to show you how quick and easy and simple it's going to be for you guys, all right? So just come on over here to the Facebook page. Hopefully you've already liked the Facebook page, and just come down and find any of my YouTube videos in the timeline. So as soon as I'm done editing this video, I'm going to get it online at YouTube. I'm going to post it over at facebook.com/gardenfrugal. And all you got to do is just come to the Facebook page and just click on share. And you can click on share. You can share it if you have a friend that also is gardening, or you think this is a good idea, they could use it. You know, you can share it with them. If you're part of gardening groups, you can share it there. I just don't want you to get out of hand on other people's pages and stuff. You know, I'd much rather you just kind of share it on your own timeline, or if you do have a close friend and it's something they would like, I would share it on their page. All right, so you just want it to come over here and share it on your own timeline, and you can just write something like, hey, check this out, great video on how to make ollas, and click share. And the reason why I want you to do it via the Facebook page is it's a really simple, easy way for me to see who shared it. You know, if you're just kind of posting the link all over the place, you know, it's kind of hard for me to keep track and verify it. Doing it via Facebook, I can see every single week who shared, where they shared it, and then that way, when I see that, that's going to be your entry into the contest. So the second thing I'm going to need you to do after you share is just come on over to gardenfrugal.com, click on the contest link, and you're just going to fill out your information, all right? You're going to fill out your name, your email, what your Facebook name is, and your address. It's that simple. You can just fill it all out, hit submit, and then what I'm going to do is every week, every Sunday, I'm going to look at, in the last week, who shared the video, and it can be any of my videos, you guys. I'm going to count every single share until I run out of seeds every single week as an entry. So, you know, if you share it every week, you're going to be entered every single week. And All I need to know is your name, your email, your Facebook name, and your mailing address. Because then when I go and I pick that person, I need to match up what your Facebook name is to you, and then I need to have a way to contact you. Facebook rules is I can't use Facebook to notify you guys of contest winnings and stuff like that. So, and make sure you put in a valid email. I have tons of people sign up for my contest. I've picked them as winners. I've sent them an email saying, hey, I need your address. And that's why I asked for the address right away now. But hey, I need your address, and they never get back to me. So they've obviously given me like their junk email or spam email that they never check or anything like that. So just make sure you give me a valid email if you really want these seeds, you guys. And it's that easy, all right? So just go to the Facebook page, share any of my videos. Each share will be an entry, and every Sunday I'm going to pick new winners, and I'm going to mail you off some seeds. That simple. You don't need to fill out the contest page every single time. Basically just fill it out once, and then I'll be able to search via your Facebook name, match it up with your address if I choose you as the winner, and send you off some seeds. So like I said, it's not going to be a whole lot of seeds, but it'll be a little something as a thank you to you guys. And you know, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you sharing the videos. I love interacting with you guys. And let me know what you think about this. If you've done this before or you have some modifications, you know, put it in the comments below. And you know, if you do make some, post some pictures on the Facebook page, you guys. So, all right, you guys. And always, I appreciate you coming. And until next time, know your limit and grow within it. All right, guys. Take care. Nice, Milo. Thanks.